pressing play on this video. Really happy to bring you this one. I've been looking forward to it. 15 minutes where we focus on getting you really nice and supple. We're going to be focusing on freeing up the hips a lot here and also hamstrings, because those are the problem areas for the majority of people. We just really want to get those areas nice and supple and not only flexible but properly mobile, so you can move in and out of the positions that you need to get into to live your best life, to feel comfortable, to move comfortably in your own body. And the best way to do that is to come into a session like this, or any session where you're going to be doing deep stretching, nice and warm. I'm actually shooting this video straight after doing a cardio core video. I'm still slightly breathless, I don't know if you can tell. That is ideal, right? We are going to be integrating some cardio into this just to really make sure that your body is ready. When you're a little bit fatigued after a workout, when you're still nice and warm, that's the best time to do these deep stretches, because the body doesn't put up as much resistance. It's much more amenable to moving in and out of its full range. Everything's nice and warm, and joints are lubricated and things like that, so we're ready for it. So that's why there's a bit of cardio in here. Also gives us a bit of extra calorie burning in our day, a bit of extra movement in our day. And crucially though, helps us to make the most out of these stretches. I'm just starting my timer here. I'm just having a 1 minute timer running during this session. I probably won't stick to it rigidly, but it's just to make sure that I stick to the 15 minutes and make sure I spend roughly the same amount of time when we do one side or the other. But first of all, let's just start with a little bit of cardio. I'm just going to do a jog. You can do whatever cardio you want to do, really. Yeah, you know, if you've got an injury problem or whatever that means jogging in place isn't right for you, just do some sort of nice cardiovascular movement. You can boost out some dance moves, whatever, anything that's going to get you warm. We're only going to be here for about a minute. You can think about shaking the arms here, releasing any tension you might be holding in the shoulders. Pull up long through the spine, let's get to our full height. Really think about those shoulders being nice and loose and relaxed. Upper back, the area between the shoulder blades, above the, on the top of the shoulders along here. Relax that, let it go. Neck, jaw, think about relaxing all those areas where we hold tension. Give it a shake. Just stand with your feet hip width apart here now and take a step back. I'm just going to do a front kick. Return, foot under hip, other side, step back. Knee comes up, foot comes out. Return. That's how we do a kick. It's not a leg swing. Knee up, kick, return, okay? Whenever you do a kick, that's how it should be. Sometimes I see people just swinging the leg forward in a kick like that. That's not how you kick. I know this type of kick anyway. You want to be step back, knee, kick. Step back, knee, kick. It's going to help to keep things moving how they should. When people do that straight leg swing instead of a kick that I just showed you, it's a real warning sign that mobility isn't great. So just be mindful of that. Don't worry if you're not kicking up as high as me though. That's fine. All right, shake that off. Now, let's step back once again, a little bit further now here, so we're in a sort of a lunge position. You're very welcome to hold onto a chair, back of the sofa, put your hand on a wall, something to steady you here, because I want your upper body tall, I want your shoulders pointing to the ceiling. You're on the balls of that back foot. The front knee is above the ankle, it is not pressed forward, it is knee is directly above the ankle. Remember, you can hold on to something, that's fine. Get the body nice and tall, and make sure we want both hips facing forward, yeah? Breathe into it, it shouldn't be painful. If it's painful, fix that. Please stop. Nothing should be painful in this, right? Any pain is a sign that something is wrong, do not continue, it's damaging you, right? You might feel warmth, you might feel a little bit of discomfort in a stretch, but not pain. Both hips face forward, breathe into that area, and you can maybe squeeze the glutes to tilt the pelvis forward a little bit there, flatten that off. Nice stretch through the front of the hip, yeah? Bring the feet together, foot underneath each hip, step the other leg back, same. Again, feel free to hold on to something. Back leg is straight here. You want to slide that foot back a little bit to make sure this front knee is above the ankle. Sometimes, you can have trouble doing that because this back foot isn't far enough back. But the main thing we want to do, if you're not feeling it, really make sure you're squeezing the glutes, especially if that leg out behind you and tilt the hips so that the pelvis, curls forward. Stretch, and then you're going to feel that nice stretch through the front of the hip flexor there. Not painful. It should feel like a nice opening stretch, opening sensation. This hip, that side might be might be getting pulled back towards that back leg. This is because I'm just out of workout. So if that hip gets pulled back towards that back leg, correct that. Breathe into it, relax. All right. Now I'm going to get down on the onto my mat here. I'm going to actually fold it over just for comfort, just so my knees have got some extra cushioning under there. All right. So I'm going to put one knee forward here now. So similar to the stretch we just did, but you might feel a little bit more in the calf, in the quad here, that big muscle on the front of the thigh. So stand tall here, yeah? And again, really focus on pressing that hip forward. Tall through the body, squeeze through the glutes, press that hip forward, find an opening through the front of the hip flexor. Okay, let's switch sides. Other foot forward. You might notice I've got 90-degree angles here, roughly. This knee above that ankle, 90-degree angle back there. Really trying to flatten out a line between the knee, right up to the neck, right to the top of the head. Yeah? And you might need to squeeze through the glutes, you might need to very actively tilt that pelvis forward, find that straight line, tuck your bum under basically to get that stretch through the front of the hip flexor there. Breathe. We're going to return to this on the other side, so don't need to rush it. Just letting the body get comfortable in this position with a slight pull. Let your body get comfortable with a slight pull on that hip. Okay, gently, slowly come up it. Just take a second now. Take a couple of breaths. All right, now we're going to go back to the first side. Find that position with a 90-degree angle at each knee on each leg here. Just make sure everything's leveled out, nice and straight. But this time we are going to press the front knee forward, as long as it's not painful, as long as it feels good. And see how that angle changes in the back leg. We're aiming to keep both hip bones pointing out in front of us. Yeah, don't let this side of the hip get dragged towards that back leg. You can very gently place your hands on this thigh, or you can just have them on the hip bones. Don't put weight through that leg. So now we're just going to try and ease down, easing the hips downwards towards the floor, whilst keeping that leg straight out behind you. Don't let it splay out to the side. That's kind of important, that leg stays pointing out behind you and doesn't come out to the side. That's not where we want to find the opening. We want to open the front of the hip there, not by splaying out the leg. Relax, breathe, just press those hips. In fact, just let the hips sink downwards. All right, gently, slowly, back to the start position. Other side. Find that 90-90 position with the legs. Get yourself nice and stable. And again, easing forwards, bending that front knee, only to a point where it feels comfortable. Allowing the hips to sink down as they want to. Again, you can hold on to something here if you need to keep your body upright, to keep everything feeling comfortable so that the stretch doesn't become too deep too soon. Again, never painful. Never to the point where, you shouldn't be holding your breath, you shouldn't be pulling your face. It should feel like a nice, gentle opening. That's how we make best progress in flexibility. That's how we get more supple, is by working with the body, not against it, yeah? That's how it gets comfortable and feels safe, opening up. That's how we win at this game, yeah? It's a bit different from other areas of fitness. Breathe. All right, let's come out of that. And we can just sink the hips down onto the heels, and we're just going to come into child's pose just to give our body a minute to recover and adjust. Rest here, relax. And we're going to do some more work for that hip flexor and also the hamstring next up. Release the arms, just Take this time to reset. Walk the hands in, and roll the shoulders. Okay, so we're going to get back into that position, that 90-degree position, and work from there again. So hips up, one leg forward. Right, so this time we're going to press the hips back towards the heels. You can put the fingertips down or hold on to, a chair at the side or something out front of you. You can use your hand to pull the leg into alignment with the hip if that works for you. And see, I've got this hamstring stretch going on here. You can flex and point the foot a few times if that helps. It's okay if you need to bend a little bit, bend and extend. But we're aiming for that straight stretch. Just wiggling around a little bit to find that opening. Okay, now kind of rock forward over. Foot becomes flat and we're back in that hip flexor stretch. Very nice. Breathe, take your time. Level everything up. And let's press back into that hamstring stretch. If your knee is bent here, if you can't straighten the leg, that's absolutely fine. As long as you're feeling a gentle stretch through the back of the hamstring, you're doing it correctly. If the stretch is too strong, ease off, right? I know if you've done my workouts, I keep repeating this about flexibility, but people still keep getting it wrong. They still keep overdoing it, and then they make slow progress. Come forward. Last time here in this hip opening position for this one. Ease those hips back once again. Breathe into that lovely hamstring opening stretch. Press the hips up. If you can bring the hips right down to the heel, go for it. Just letting the chest come forward over that front leg. Notice how that brings the stretch into different areas of the hamstrings, different areas along the back of the leg. Relax, release. Okay, let's do all that on the other side then. Getting into that 90-90 position to start with. And again, press the hips back, let the toes come up. I'm just going to bring that forward a little bit, gives me a better hamstring stretch. Something off the mat on my leg. I remember you can flex and point the toe a little bit, bend and extend the knee. Just, if it feels good, wriggling around a little bit to get into those different places, to get that good stretch. Just breathing, just relaxing. Going to the point where we feel a nice, gentle opening stretch and maybe just asking the body if it can give us 1 more millimetre. That's all we want to ask for, right? Don't go crazy, don't push it too much. Alright, now let's rock forward and find that hip flexor stretch with the hips pressing down, body tall. Can you feel stuff starting to release? If not, if you're not feeling stuff starting to release, then you really just need to breathe a bit deeper and stop trying so hard, yeah? Just breathe into it. Go to a point of gentle opening. Relax there. Just relax there. Let the body feel comfortable and safe there. And then you do reach a point where the body starts to relax and lengthen, then we start thinking about asking for that extra millimetre, not before. Come forward. Sink down, be tall through the body, just let the hips melt down towards the floor, opening through that hip area that can get so tight. And then back, pressing the hips back towards the heels, trying to find length through that leg again. That area through the back of the leg, up through the bottom of the lower back that can get so tight. If it feels good, let the hips come down. If not, you can just stay up there. Just let the upper body ease forward to find more length. Through the back of the leg into the back of the body. Breathe, release. Just a couple of breaths here. Enjoy it, relish it. Okay, come on up. You'll lie back on the mat here now. Oh, it's nice, yeah? Let the upper body completely relax, let it release. Cross one leg over the other, but only to where the bone of the lower leg there, you want that crossing the thigh just above the ankle, and then you can use your hands to press that knee away from you to find a little bit of extra opening through, different part of the front of the hip flexor there. Can you feel that? It's getting a little bit more of a different position for the hip bone. Again, don't push to pain, push to a very gentle stretch. See if you can come up onto the ball of the foot. That feels good. Lift the leg, press it in. Notice how that brings the stretch a bit more into the back of the hip, probably, maybe in the glutes a bit more. That's where I'm feeling it. You can thread the fingers through if you want to and hold onto the back of the thigh. If you want a little bit more, you can hold onto the shin and really hold that in. But don't worry if that's not where you are today. Stick with whatever version gives you a delicious opening stretch. Gently release. Let's switch sides. Remember, you can use the fingers to just very gently ease that knee away from you. Breathe, relax. Up onto the ball of the foot. Maybe you want to stay there, or maybe you want to thread the fingers through and hold onto the back of the thigh. Maybe you want to stay there and breathe until it starts to release, or maybe you're ready to hold onto the front of the shin. And just make sure you're easing the upper body back down. Relax the shoulders, they should be back down on the mat. You shouldn't be all curled up in a ball up there, right? If you are, maybe you're not ready for this position. Just relax the upper body and let things happen in their own time. Okay, Elise. How are we doing for time? It's time to go on to our final stretch then. So we're going to lay down. I love this stretch. I recommend it daily. I try and do it daily. We're in this T position here. I'm going to bring one knee up, right? So we've got this 90-degree position at the knee again. And I'm going to use the muscles of my waist to turn my hips towards towards that side of the room, whilst keeping this shoulder, the back shoulder, down. Now, what that means is I'm going to imagine that my shoulder blade on that side is glued to the mat, and I'm only going to turn to the point where that shoulder blade can stay down. I'm going to relax into it. I'm going to take my time, turning from the waist. If you feel a clicking in the spine, don't worry about it. As long as it's not painful, that's actually a good thing. It's things going back into proper alignment. Don't worry if your knee won't come over as far as me. I just told you I recommend this daily, and I try to do it daily, so I've had a lot of practice, right? A lot of people are going to be up here, and that's fine, right? You repeat this every day, you'll find that progress happens, and it's such an amazing stretch for your spine. You might also feel it around the back of the hip, lower back there. Using the waist to turn the hips to the side. So we're not just trying to press the knee over, we're turning the whole of the hips so that we can get the twist through the spine. Opening up that lower back. Alright, slowly, gently. Back to that central position, back into that T shape. Find it, even it out. And the knee comes up 90 degrees. And in your own time, remember this shoulder blade now, back of the shoulder is glued down onto the mat. It might feel different on one side compared to the other. Don't be alarmed. That's normal. It feels different on this side for me. And it will probably for you, right? Each side's going to feel different. I just got a little bit of a click there in the lower back. I love that. It's a little bit disconcerting when you first start to do this stretch, when you feel those pops and clicks. But actually, when you start to do it regularly, it's really satisfying, and you really sort of relax into it. I used to hate it. I used to think it was gross when you get those pops. I'm quite a squeamish person, and that feeling of popping and snapping in the spine, not snapping, but snapping back into place of the spine, used to really gross me out. But now I'm used to this stretch. When that happens, I'm like, everything's nicely aligned again. Remember, it's quite an active stretch, but we're using the muscles of the waist to turn the hips to the opposite side. And just, you can think about breathing into this shoulder, might help you to keep the shoulder down. The main thing is to relax and let it happen in its own time. Bit by bit, day by day. It's about consistency, not intensity. It's about letting the body get
used to these positions, get comfortable. Giving it a chance to respond. Just one more breath here. Oh, I could stay here a lot longer, but that is the end of our video for today. Come back to centre. If you want a bit more, I recommend spending 2 to 3 minutes in forward fold here. Okay, this hamstring stretch, I'm sure you know this one. With your chest reaching outwards towards your shins. Recommend 2 to 3 minutes of that if you really want to make the most of how relaxed and supple you're feeling now to get into that crucial area through the back of the legs. But that's it from me today. I'm really pleased you joined me. If you like this video, please let me know either in the comments below this video if you're watching on YouTube. Please consider sharing, don't forget to like, or you can come over to my Facebook group and talk to me there. I would love to hear. I would actually really love it if you said that you like this session so I can make more because I love this. Let me know. See you soon. Bye-bye.